I thought like, okay, let me wait and listen to her questions. I was not able to understand anything from her questions. Reason being, her accent was literally, I felt like I was watching a Star movies. With all the confidence, I ran away from that counter towards my brother. Rest of the conversation which I had from my brother is not supposed to be disclosed in a public forum because of the usage of words. He moved back to that counter, he booked his ticket, and he gave me a look. That was a look which he gave me. That day, I realized the importance of being self-confident, keeping away all the self-doubts I have about me, and have that better version or the more confident me. Fellow Toastmasters, bright hearts, dear guests, good evening to all of you. I am Vishnu Pradeep, Toastmaster of the day. Today's theme, a more confident you, is all about unleashing our inner strength and bringing out that more confident version of us. With that, let me introduce you to the theme of today's meeting. A typical Toastmaster meeting will have three themes. One, prepared speech, in which the speakers will come on stage for 5 to 6 minutes. They will be speaking confidently on a prepared topic. Second one is a table topic session, in which the speakers gain confidence on spot with that impromptu speaking. The third one is evaluations, which is really important. That is where the speakers get their feedback on how they have to improve. With this, they'll gain more confidence for their upcoming speeches. As today is a special day for us and a special meeting, as Arundhati said, we are not going to have a table topic session. Instead of that, we are going to beat Kelvin Kiptum, who is a world's marathon best runner, by having marathon icebreakers. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to have 6 icebreaker speeches where our speakers are coming to the stage confidently and then deliver those speeches. With that, let me introduce our general evaluator for today. I met him in that traffic signal today and gave him a list towards this occasion. In between that ride, I was asking him, what does confidence mean to you? And there was a wonderful answer from him. He said, confidence is something which I will do without thinking what others are thinking about me. With that, a huge round of applause. Welcome, Toastmaster Ihab.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Am I audible till there, Raffle? Awesome. And before I begin my segment, I just want to clarify, where is the stage till? Where can I come forward till? Till here. So all the speakers today, please note that the maximum you can come forward is till this place. You can come back and probably from here till here. Good? Great. So my job as the general evaluator today is to evaluate the proceedings of the entire meeting, all the role takers, speakers, and evaluators. At the end of the meeting, I will present my report as to what you did well, where you could improve, and some recommendations to improve as well. Just like Vishnu said, confidence is all about improving yourself and having that mindset that nobody's thoughts, you care about them. So even if I make a mistake, even if you make a mistake, it's okay. Just keep going forward. And to help you analyzing how you did today across various parameters, we have a team which we call Taggle team. The timer, R counter, grammarian, and listener. So to tell you more about the timer's role, please put your hands together for your bright heart, Pranjal.
Good evening, Toastmasters and distinguished guests. Today, I stand in front of you as the role of the trimer. Now, I am that one person who has the power, undoubtedly, to tell you when you have talked just too much. Ironic, isn't it? A parrot telling a crow not to talk a lot. Well, anyways, now why is this role important? To tell you about its importance, I will be telling you when you have gone to lengths to explain just that one single point, when you have turned your speech into your personal TED talk. My job is to make sure that you all stay on time so that no one has to sneakily check their watch or just pretend to nod, thinking what they are supposed to do next or what they're going to have for dinner. But let's be honest, we are not going to do that. We are good people, right? So here's how it works. Now for the prepared speeches, you guys will be having 4 to 6 minutes. I'll be showing you the green card at 4 minutes, signaling that, hey, you are on track. Now when I'll be showing you the yellow card is at 5 minutes. That means you're still going on strong, but maybe let's wrap it up a little soon. At 6 minutes is when I'll be showing you the red card. That means just like in Oscars, they play the wrap it up song. I'll be signaling you that you have crossed your song limit, your speech limit. Though not like the Oscars, I'll be physically removing you from the stage, but maybe just wrap it soon. But you'll be having 30 seconds of grace time. So that's a good point. For the evaluations, we'll be having 2 to 3 minutes. Evaluators, I'll be showing you the green card at 2 minutes, yellow card at 2 minutes, 30 seconds, and finally the red card at 3 minutes. And similarly, you'll be having 30 seconds of grace time to wrap your speech up so that you don't get disqualified. Or I can just say that your evaluations will be evaluated. After that, well, let's make this the most time of our day. And once the general evaluator calls me on stage, I'll be presenting you with my reports. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Pranjal. Now to tell you about the R counter role, please put your hands together to welcome Bright Heart Ruchi. I will.
Greetings, bright hearts and guests. I'm Ruchi and I will be taking up the role of R counter for today. I am responsible for noting down the CRPF usage of each speaker for today. Can anybody help me with what C in CRPF stands for? Yes. Crutch words are some of the meaningless or useful. They have no use while a speaker speaks. These words are like, you know, but, like, and so on. What does R stand for? Yes, unnecessary repetitive words or sentences that can make a speaker sound boring. What does P stand for? Yes, long unintentional pause in between that disrupts the flow of speaker. What does F stand for? Yes. What are the examples of some of the filler words? Are all the sounds we use while eating street food of India. Why is it important to avoid the usage of CRPF? Yes, because if we use a lot of CRPF words, it shows lack of confidence, nervousness, and sometimes it also hinders the ability of the speaker to deliver the key message of their speech. So today, I will help each of the speaker to identify and be aware of their speech delivery, fluency, and speaking habits by noting down their CRPF usage. I will come in the end when called upon by the general evaluator, Ahab, to present my report for today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ruchi. Now on to introduce the role of the grammarian. Please put your hands together for Brightheart, Ishan.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Welcome, Bright Hearts and fellow guests. Today, I'll be playing the role of grammarian. As the grammarian, my responsibility is to note the use of any improper words or any use of outstanding words, thoughts, or quotes in all of the speeches that will be come and spoken about here. Along with that, it's my responsibility to also introduce the word of the day, which is gleam. Gleam means either to shine brightly or a faint or brief light. An example of this word is, her eyes gleamed with excitement when she saw her birthday surprise. Or, the distant lighthouse's gleam guided the ships safely to the shore. Each speaker is encouraged to use the word of the day. And at the end of the meeting, I'll come ahead and show my report along with the uses of this. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ishan. And to present the introduction for the final auxiliary role, listener, please put your hands together for Brightheart, Siddharth.
Good evening, Bright Hearts. Today I'm playing a role of a listener. So at the end of the meeting, I'll come here on the stage and ask you a few questions regarding the speeches, proceedings, or interactions during the meeting. So stay sharp during the meeting and let's see who gleams at the end of the meeting with the right answers. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Siddharth. Today's meeting will be slightly different from the usual format in that there is an icebreaker marathon. That means 6 icebreaker speeches. Because of the objectives of all the speeches remaining the same, the evaluators won't be introducing the objectives 6 times, the same objective, right? So the objective of any icebreaker speech in Toastmasters is for the member to introduce themselves and also to understand the basic structure of a speech. So the timing is 4 to 6 minutes as timer mentioned. With that, I wish all the speakers all the best. I wish all the role takers all the best. And I hope this meeting gleams like a bright star. Back to Team Mod Vishnu.
Sunlight is gleaming into Wasim's face and Wasim is smiling. Thank you so much. What I forgot to mention before was, I was supposed to say one more sentence. That I was going to share tips throughout these meetings for confidence, which I forgot. It's okay. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to share a couple of tips on how we can improve our confidence or embrace that confidence. With that, I have heard this. Fortune favors bold and resilient. This I am going to tie back with the decision which Akshay and Arundhati had taken to find this clip or start this clip. I'm sure, Arundhati, you would have gone through a lot of struggles, right? To start this, because there were a lot of struggles to go through this, because membership and Toastmasters International, and of course. And I would say, without that bold decision of starting this club and being resilient throughout those problems, we all wouldn't have been sitting here. So Toastmasters, Bright Hearts, guest, let's be confident by being bold and resilient. With that, we are going to have our first icebreaker speech. And this speech will be evaluated by Prep Simran Kaur. let me welcome the first speaker of this day. She is going to break the ice with her first icebreaker speech. I checked with her what is that practical strategy which she follows to make sure that her confidence is boosted. She mentioned that she never looks for perfection. One, she practiced multiple times. These are the two strategies which she follows to make sure that her confidence is boosting. With that, let me welcome Toastmaster Arna Gupta. What is the name of that speech? What is the name of the speech? Water memories and magic. Toastmaster Arna, water, memories and magic. Water, memories and magic, Toastmaster Arna.
So thinking about who I am has been a relatively recent thing since I started college. You have to introduce yourself to so many people. The question of what makes me unique, different from others, what makes me, well, me, has come up so often. Good evening, bright hearts, Toastmasters, and guests. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak about me. Scientific speaking, we are all 70% water. Metaphorically, the 70% is the environment around us. The people we grew up with, the environments we grew up around. Me, I've been very lucky in that the 70% that was outside my control was a considerate and safe environment. You remember Inside Out? We had a meeting on it, right? You know, that movie where emotions are personified, where blue is sadness and yellow is happiness. If we were to go by that movie, all my childhood memories would be largely yellow. I am a single child. There's a wooden portrait frame of a 7-year-old me gleaming, smiling from ear to ear, that my father gifted my mother with the words, "Our most wonderful, precious gift," engraved under it. I am also the youngest in my entire extended family, which made me the automatic favorite. My grandmother, my Nani, used to read me the Ramayana for hours on end. And when we went to Lakhimpur, which is my hometown, my grandparents' town, my Nanu used to bring me to his study and show me the bundles of pens, diaries, staplers he had, and always gifted me a small token. So I have over 75 diaries now. I counted as I threw away my books for college. Coming to the remaining 30% of you. Scientifically speaking, it's protein, fats, and sugars. But I would like to put forward that it's memories, what make me, me, and you, well, you. Memories are what give you a sense of self and continuation. It's memories that you can look at a photo album from 10 years ago and say, oh, that's me with that horrible haircut. Yeah. Here are some of the memories that stick out in my life. They may seem simple to you, but they're truly profound to me. One was somebody offering me a lollipop the first day of in my new school. It made me feel seen. It made me feel welcome. And it made me want to be the type of person who always makes others feel seen. Long drives with my mother is another that comes to mind, where she would make me feel heard as I built castles on the clouds that reach the stratosphere. When a friend said that they trusted me and thanked me for always being there. Another one is a friend taking the time to explain an year's worth of physics syllabus in one night, the night before the exam. That is memories. Memories give us color, give us excitement. It's what all our interactions build up to. The last bit I would put forward is magic. I love the movie The Rise of the Guardians. It's an endlessly wholesome and imaginative animated film where the Santa Claus, the Tooth Fairy, Jack Frost, and the Easter Bunny team up to defeat the boogeyman. Since watching that movie, I have chose to believe in magic consciously. It makes me indulge in the wondrous feeling of watching rain fall down as you're traveling in a bus, or making a deep conversation with your friend. Magic is the beauty of uncertainty and adventure, which is our privilege as we stand on this earth. Magic is the que sera sera. Whatever will be, will be. The future is not ours to see. Que sera sera. So me, I think I'm made of water, 70%, of my environment, and shaped by my memories, 30%. And the rest, the non-quantifiable, that's magic. That's why I think Toastmasters is a perfect place for me. It is an endlessly energetic environment with people who bring their everything. And the memories created here and the ones we look forward to creating are what make it special. Now the magic is Bright Hearts.
Wow.
And the members of it. I can't wait to see who all of you become. And I'm so privileged to be on this journey along you. That's me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Arna. Good to hear that you have got 75 diaries. And also the magic of Bright Hearts. Of course, this is really a magic world where people are coming up with a different set of skills, and on a daily basis, they improve. That's what we see here. Thank you for that. With that, most of us look at clock, right? And then say, oh, we missed it. The time is gone. It's not the right time to do it. Have you ever thought what clock does? It just keeps moving, right? Yeah. I almost get inspired by these clocks. Just like that, let's all get inspired by someone who we look up to and try to become that person or try to be that kind of a person. But don't forget to be gracious so that somebody else can also look up to us and get inspired. Bright Hearts, Toastmasters guest. Let's improve our confidence by being inspired and by being gracious. With that, we'll move to the second speech for today. The second speech is evaluated by Aryan Chaudhary. And the second speaker is someone who always thinks about his past success to make sure that all his self-doubts are washed away. With that, let me welcome the Toastmaster, Deepak. Toastmaster Deepak, my life, Toastmaster Deepak. You want mine? Huh? You want this mic also? No? Yeah, I'll fix it for you.
Oh, that way.
Yeah.
So, Toastmaster and guests, good evening. How are you all doing?
Good.
Thank you. Gleaming with a smile. All right. Imagine a town in 80s. I'm sure some of us would not have been born, or most of us would not have been born. But then I would like to take you to 80s in a small town where there is a daily hustle and bustle of small market. That is people living in a simple life. They use pedal cycles to go from one place to another place. They have, we have good couple of schools and government and private schools. We have a castle or a red fort in which town's elite lives. The memory of those days talks about playing games, things like marble, spinning top, seven stones,
Sevens.
watching snake charmers, of things of that side. That was the place that children played at that time. Like me child, I was also doing the same. There used to be hawkers on the street trying to sell their ware like say they wear like their magic potions, magic powders, or magic anklets. There are memory of festivals like color of light, color of Durga Puja. There used to be people coming out. The whole town used to come out and sit and stand in gather near the river Ganga for Chhat Puja. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about a town called Munger, which is around 200 kilometers from Patna in Bihar. This is where I was born in 1970, and I studied till class 12. My family is still out there, and I frequently visit them. Talking about my childhood, I used to have a lot of love and a lot of fun, except for my elder brother, who used to be a discipliner and sometimes beat me up for the same. So, yeah. I used to have a brother-in-law with whom I used to hang out a lot. Whenever he came, he would be spending time with us. And he used to talk about IITs as the ultimate place where you can go and become a good engineer, and you can talk to or spend time with very bright people, bright students. Somehow I got carried away with that. The picture that it made was something which I wanted to have. I worked hard for it and I got into IITs. That was a big high of my life. I was gleaming with pride, and I became a local hero of the shop in the neighborhood, whose days it was a rarity. The whole town, those people who were the intelligentsia of the town came to know about it. And boy, they were very jealous of me. Now, here in this home, I am feeling very proud of myself. But when I go to the college, there I was made a lot of fun. The seniors used to rag me. They used to call Bihari in a derivative manner. Then they would call me Mungeri Lal. Now, after my town, Munger. I don't know who one of you have watched this serial called Mungeri Lal Ke Hasin Sapne that used to come in Doordarshan. The protagonist, Mungeri Lal, used to daydream a lot and used to achieve a lot. He was the butt of the joke, and that is how I was becoming a butt of the joke. So elite of the hostel used to speak in English, sing English songs, watch English. For me, everything was in Hindi. I go to myself that I'll improve that, I will learn English. And I actually, after 3 years, I was very confident in English. I used to talk in the daytime, and in the night time, when I'm sleeping also, I used to talk in English. The much to the surprise of my roommate. When placement season came and I got selected in a very good company called Tata Steel, thanks to the skills I got, went and the English conversation skills. Now this taught me that if you are working on the right way with a lot of hard work, you will get your results. Unlike IITs, I also wanted to get into IIMs. Like IITs, I also wanted to get into IIMs, but I never got a call from them. I was little surprised, but then I realized that if you are good in one thing, it may not mean that you are good in others unless you really, really work hard. So, coming to the present, I work in a SAP technical area despite having a decade of project management and other management experience. And the reason why I had chosen SAP technical area is that I was not growing in the management ladder. I am here to improve my communication skills and leadership skills so that I can get back to management and climb the corporate ladder. Thank you very much for listening to me.
I was a catcher, gained extensive experience in overall of. I played a key role in establishing
Thank you.
engineering from the grounds up. We scaled this business from zero.
Thank you so much, Deepak. Good to hear that you are a local hero, but now you are one of the heroes in Bright Hearts. With that, all Bright Hearts sitting over here once was sitting in as a guest in some Toastmasters club, right? Or an HSR, or even in our Bright Hearts club itself. At the time, we guys had that hope of becoming a Toastmaster or a member in a Toastmaster club. Along with that, we were determined, or we had that tenacious approach with us to become that Toastmaster in this club. Ladies and gentlemen, when you want to walk with confidence, make sure that you always have that hope inside you. And don't forget to take that tenacious mind also with you. With that, let's move on to the third speaker for today. The third speaker will be evaluated by Ryan Rodriguez. And the third speaker for today, when he is having self-doubt, he'll make sure that whatever goes through his mind, he'll forget and just focus on what is coming ahead. With that, let me welcome Toastmaster Sampreet Wari.
On the entire project.
Toastmaster Sampreet Wari, my metamorphosis, Toastmaster Sampreet Wari.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Let me start by asking you a question. How many of you were asked by your school teacher to read out a paragraph from a textbook? So, well, it came to me, when the teacher asks us to read any paragraph, I used to calculate the exact time when my turn would come up and slip into, just go to the washroom, just so that I could skip, my turn would get skipped. Because I just don't want any attention on me. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I'm Sampreet. I'm here to give my icebreaker speech. Growing up, I was a very introverted and shy kid. Basically, I was like, I don't want any attention in my life. I just wanted to people know that I don't even exist, basically. So this is how I used to be in my childhood. I used to skip all the group activities, like any group activities such as dance, drama, sports, anything. I used to somehow find a reason to skip. I'll always make sure that my parents would skip the parent-teachers meet just by giving some reason or the other. Like this, my childhood has continued. I did not find anything wrong because I used to get a decent score and my parents were happy. I thought that would be enough to live a good life. So I carried this approach in my BTech also. So basically, I spent most of the time watching movies and just before the exam, one night before the exam, I used to study and managed to score decent marks. And I thought, okay, this would be enough. Eventually, I got placed in a dream company. My parents were thrilled and I was also thought that my life was set. But the problem started after I started my career. So basically, my job requires me to communicate with the colleagues. And basically, I need to ask them a lot of questions and gain the knowledge. It's not like there is proper documentation on everything. So basically, I'm a type of person who likes to work alone, but my job requires me to communicate with other people. So I started my career during COVID. In COVID time, I used to manage because everything is online. So I used to manage with colleagues. But when they mandated us to come to the office, and entire picture is changed. Like I was very anxious when I'm talking to the colleagues. Because of this anxiousness, I was not able to concentrate on what they are saying. So it was very tough. The only positive thing that has happened during the COVID was I started my fitness journey. I believe that working out and fitness has strengthened me both physically and mentally. So basically, I always gleam after a good workout. So what happened is during my workout, I even found my new passion, which is calisthenics. Like basically, I'm able to perform multiple calisthenics exercises and significantly improved my strength. So basically, even started my cardio training. Just as a matter of fact, today I have ran 16-kilometer run, which is sponsored by some other company. So basically, what I'm trying to say is all this physical activity somehow has strengthened me mentally and physically. So I was able to cope up this anxiety when I'm in one-on-one conversation with my colleagues. But I feel that the anxiousness is still there when I'm in front of a large crowd, when I'm giving any presentation or something like that. So a few months back, I have went on a trip. It's not a trip, basically. It is a social activity with 150 unknown people. I really felt uncomfortable talking to them, talking to the huge crowd. I thought I have to work on this. I have to overcome this anxiety when I'm talking in crowd. So basically, right after that, I have got to know about Toastmasters. I have attended HSR Toastmasters, and I really loved the basically loved the culture here. After that, I have enrolled. I can clearly see the difference. Like the past 3 months, after I joined the Toastmasters, I could see the difference in me. I'm not as anxious as before when I'm talking to the crowd. So yeah, I feel here my journey ahead will definitely help me and make meaningful friendship with everyone of you all. Finally, I would like to conclude that when you think your life is set, but life demands you that you need more, just focus on what you need and work on it. So basically, just like a butterfly just like a caterpillar metamorphoses into a butterfly, I'm in my own transformation to become a better butterfly. Yeah.
Thank you, Sampreet.
Yeah, thanks. Oh my.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sampreet. Good to know that you knew calisthenics. Next potluck event, Arundhati, let's have a session from Sampreet with that calisthenics session. Okay, great. Thank you so much. Let's move on. The famous writer Stephen Covey, there is a famous quote from him. He said that he is not the product of his circumstances. He is product of his decisions. Do you guys think he made those decisions without any expertise which he has in this area? Do you think that? Without that confidence of having his expertise in his area of work, he wouldn't have told that. And if he's having expertise, he's doing that, he's taking his own decisions. Do you think world will be with him? Don't you think that he would have heard these things? Oh, this will not work out. Give up. It's fine. it will not work out because you don't have that skill set. Somebody else will do it for you. He would have definitely heard that. But he wouldn't have had that expertise in his area of work. Definitely, he wouldn't have achieved this. Toastmasters, bright hearts, guests, let's build an expertise in the area which you love to do, and also be that headstrong person in that room. With that, let's move to the fourth speaker of the day. This speech will be evaluated by DTM Subhash. The fourth speaker of the day, I personally call him the smiling face of Bright Hearts. He always smiles. And when I look at him, I feel so energetic. And always his face is gleaming. With that, let me welcome Toastmaster Vasim. Toastmaster Vasim, my medium, Toastmaster Vasim.
How many of you have been to Pondicherry?
It's not medium.
That's great. Now, if you happen to visit Pondicherry and decide to take a walk along the beach side, you could see this beautiful scene. A gentle sea breeze disturbing the curly hair of a newborn baby on the pram, or small little toddlers who, when they walk, have these kick sound shoes. And then there are a lot of like couples romancing or family people discussing their household chores. Like, you know, a random old person catching a balloon that some random child left and then restoring it, which kind of brings a smile in both their faces. Good afternoon, Toastmasters and my dear friends. Now, if you're thinking I'm just explaining Pondicherry Beach, it probably might not be. It also explains a little bit of me as well. So I am a normal person who likes to enjoy little things, like roam around aimlessly, or like keep clicking pictures just for the beauty of it more than the likes. Having said this, almost anyone who see my parents say that they are almost made for each other. And my mom is the kindest of all. Only me and my father know how much we get beaten at home. To add to that, I have two siblings, a younger brother and a younger sister. The best thing to have with having younger siblings is you can avoid them from falling in the trap that you fell into. I took biology group. I didn't allow my brother to take it. I took engineering. I didn't allow my brother to take it. I joined Infosys. I didn't allow my brother to take it. So now he's in a much, much better position. Now, until 9th standard, we were living in a joint family. And then along with our cousins, so we were like 4 boys and 2 girls under a single room. So we had most of our fun was in the home. We used to go to tuitions together, be in the terrace, and think about building integrated townships 20 years before. What not? Building Burj Khalifa in our terrace, everything we have done. Things changed, but when we moved to a separate home. As soon as we moved to a separate home, a year later, my father had to go through a major business loss. That's where I started to think how the entire atmosphere can change. And my father was in a very bad shape, and then I was not sure how to help him out. The only opportunity that I had was my 10th board exams. I somewhat thought I should do that would impress him. So I just took Maths as the paper and then started focusing on it for a year. I spent all my energy on it. Eventually, I got sentenced on both my Maths papers. And my first special moment came when I returned back to my home. When I told the results to my father, he gave me a very tight hug and then said, I am his only solace and comfort in these times of distress. That's where I realized how you can pick one and just focus the kind of rewards it can bring. After schooling, I went to college. So because of our financial instability, I thought I should take a course which would definitely carry and give a job opportunity. Everyone said it's easy. Electronics and communication. You can either get into core or an IT. But no one said that I would be prepared for neither of them. Like after the college, I was like, what is this all about? But the best thing in my college was that I found my passion for design. Design, I found to be the best way to express myself and also in a way to create the magic that I wanted to always. So every time when someone comes and asks me to design a personalized greeting card, symposium banner, or cultural t-shirts, all those, it gave me so much satisfaction. And whenever I took that extra care and did it for them, they were also equally so much happy. So that's where I realized in life, it is all about picking a medium that you like and then use it to inspire and influence others. Now, 8 years before, without any design degree, without any design experience, just to express myself, I gave this icebreaker in Infosys Toastmasters.
Wow.
Surprisingly, one of the audience members was a design lead in Infosys. I didn't know design team existed in Infosys. Then he referred me to the respective design team. And then I got recruited by them. And for the last 8 years, I have been a successful designer, currently working as a senior product designer. Now, why am I here again? In Toastmasters. What I learned over the years is it need not necessarily be a single medium. You can have multiple mediums. I cut off everything just to focus on design, but that was a mistake. You can have multiple mediums. And more than any of these, your personality is the most powerful medium. I can take example from right here, like Vishnu's confidence or Arundhati's way of leadership. There are so many. Samprit's resilience, how he expressed here, Hiab's composure. There were so many. So that's exactly why I'm here, to build my personality by learning from you all. Having said that, just give it a thought. What are your mediums to express, influence, and inspire others? And then explore a lot, find one, and go pursue them. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Do we need time now or is it done?
Pragati?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Prakriti, can you say something?
It's echoing here.
You're on mute. Prakriti, you're on mute.
Hello? Can you hear me? Am I audible?
We can hear you.
I can't hear anybody.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Hello. Good. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Wasim. It was really wonderful speech. Let me ask you this question. How many of you had this fear when you were asked to speak in the first meeting? Great. How many of you had this fear of sitting in the front row when you are going for a meeting, conference, or anything? Great. Can we do something from next time as a tip for us to improve our confidence? Can we be assertive next time onwards and make sure that we are going to sit in the first row? We are going to speak for the first time in the meeting. Can we do that? Awesome. So with that, what we are going to try here is we are going to be assertive and resolute. With that, let's move to the fifth speaker of today. And this speech will be evaluated by Manish Reddy. Now, let's welcome the fifth speaker, Pragati Ganapati. Toastmaster Pragati Ganapati, work in progress. Work in progress, Toastmaster Pragati Ganapati.
Thank you. Am I audible? Just checking one more time. Okay. Hi, everybody. Thank you for this opportunity this is my first icebreaker speech. So thank you for this opportunity. My name is Pragati. I'm born in 1990 from Bangalore. I'm brought up in a Kurd household where the only achievement is either joining the armed forces or playing a sport for the country. So when I was born, my parents told me that there was a lot of progress in their life in terms of finance and socially as well. So they decided to name me Pragati, which means progress. So there are a few episodes in my life that I'd like to share that shaped me for who I am today. So in school, I was a very shy person. I would never raise my hand, never speak to anybody, very afraid to make friends. Even if you can imagine, I would never even use the washroom until it was break time. So throughout my school days, it was like that. And I did get an opportunity in school, though, to join the NCC. For those of you who don't know NCC, it's called National Cadet Corps. It's the youth wing of the armed forces. So the country recruits people from schools for the armed forces, and they have a sort of a camp for showing off your skills on the Republic Day. So you're celebrated on the Republic Day. And this was an amazing opportunity, and I got through from my school. And this is where it started. I broke out of my shyness. I started making a lot of friends. And one camp after the other, I got through and through and through, made a lot of connections. And in the final round, I think I covered almost 15 rounds, 15 camps. And in the final round, I got disqualified. I was completely miserable, like shattered, because the whole entire year I had missed my school just for these camps. And this really told me a lesson. And when I got back from my NCC camp back to my normal school life, there were a lot of changes that happened. Well, my friends and my teachers motivated me to come out of, this shell. They congratulated me, at least you made it through. And because I didn't make it through, it did definitely made me learn a lesson to not to take any failures personally. Like, it's just something, there's something out there that's bigger. And maybe bigger for the next challenge. So I say next challenge because The next challenge was I moved out of the country when I was 22 years old, and I moved to Australia, Sydney. And this was, boy, a completely different culture shock. Culture shock in every way. Like, for example, you just walk on the street and random people would just greet you. Hey, how are you going? How is your day going? Good morning, good day. And I would be like, why are they being so nice to me? Or do they want something from me? So it was a big culture shock. And also, the noise. You can see cars pass by on the road, but there's no sound. So absolute silence. So it was very different. So you can imagine. And so since I moved there for my post-graduation, the university there encouraged students to mingle with other students by going to bars and pubs. And trust me, until then, I had never stepped into a bar or a pub or never even had a drink. So this was nerve-wracking for me. Can you imagine? Culture shock plus these absurd ways of connections. But this was the only way the university encouraged us. Like, yes, you have to go out there, make friends. Yes, so, and I decided that this, if I were to think about that moment right now, I wanted to come back to India. I was like, no, this is not for me. But it was an expensive decision. So there's no way I'm going to take that expensive decision just because I'm scared, right? So yeah. And then I just mustered up the courage, went on, walked into this bar. And that's when I made so many friends. So many friends. There were two girls who walked up to me, and I realized that they were all on the same boat. They had also moved from their countries, away from their homes, and they were also trying to figure out life. And that's how I made many friends, and I managed to live there for almost 8 years. So this actually taught me a lesson saying, there is always someone to help you. There's always someone to be there. And now that I'm in India, joining Toastmasters is, for me, it is to be a better communicator personally and professionally, and also to inspire people. So I would say I'm a work in progress because I still feel I have a lot of things to work on, and or should I say work in pragati. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pragati. That was a wonderful speech, and we are all in work in progress, as you said. Many times I have heard this from different people. My friends saying this, whenever they propose something or whenever they deliver something, we hear this, oh, somebody else did this better than you. You have to go far ahead. There are a lot of feedback which we are hearing, right? Even if we are confident. But what is one thing which will hold us back? Trust. Trusting ourselves. That is one thing which we have to think in our mind and then make sure that whatever matters, whatever other people think about us, we are going to move ahead and then deliver our things at place and be self-assured. Bright Hearts Toastmasters guest. Yes, let's trust ourselves and be self-assured. With that, let's move on to the final icebreaker speech for today. And this speech is evaluated by Mohammed. And the final speaker for today is a beautiful human being. I asked him, what is your strength? He said, sharing the knowledge which he has with other people is something which he loves to do. With that, let's welcome Toastmaster Gautam. Toastmaster Gautam, break the cocoon, Toastmaster Gautam.
Good afternoon, bright hearts, fellow Toastmasters and guests. How many of you prefer having coffee or a tea with jaggery rather than having it with sugar or unhealthy? Yes, even I do prefer having tea with jaggery. The reason being, I am from a place called Anakapalli, which is near Visakhapatnam. Anakapalli was once largest producer of jaggery in India. My mother was so ambitious from her childhood. She used to have so many thoughts, but all her ambitions were left as dreams because she was a girl child and she was put at home to take care of her grandmother who was paralyzed. At age of 16, she got married to the coolest person I have ever met, my father. They are blessed with a baby boy on October 7th, 1992. That's me. I'm Gautam Sursetti. Today I'm delivering my first icebreaker speech. My mother wanted me to be as ambitious as her, and she wanted me to be a multi-talented person, dance, school, education, and so on. I was good at everything as she expected, except studies. I'm very bad at math. She decided one day to put me into a school called Navodaya, and she wanted me to get trained to get into that school. Once I went to the school, my age was 10. We used to have an auditorium where all the lectures were conducted, and at the night, we were asked to sleep under the same benches. It was like a jail for me. I called my father and I said, I can't stay here. Can you please take me to home? It was heard by the principal. He used to treat me very badly. For 6 months, he always asked me to kneel down outside the class. One day I decided that is first time I break my cocoon. I thought, let's jump from the school wall, which was 7 feet. I was 4 feet at that time. I jumped from the school wall. I went back to home. I convinced my parents that I will not go to the school again. Schooling was done. It was my 12th grade. I need to give my entrance exam for engineering. We have 160 questions, which are multiple choice A, B, C, and D. I chose option C because I chose option C for all the questions. The probability of passing is 40. I got 44 marks. I passed the exam and I went into engineering. I couldn't get a good college. But again, my lifeline of my life, my mother, she fought with my entire family. And she admitted me into a college called VIT. Bachelors were done. I got a job in Gujarat. I was a person who wanted to stay back at my hometown and stay with my parents. But I moved to Gujarat. My first assignment was to scan all the documents and upload it to a drive. I was not happy with what I was doing. I approached my manager after 2 months, said, I'm not happy with what I'm doing. I want to leave the job. Then he smiled at me. He said, I was expecting you to come back to me within 2 weeks, but you took 2 months to come back to me. That's when I spoke to my manager and I said, is there any other work I can do? He suggested me, why can't you have a look at some ways to automate the task? Then I went back. I spoke to people who are in the industry and I figured out a way called CAD automation, where I can optimize the CAD designs much faster. During my college days, my toughest exam is C language. I still don't understand why I equals to I plus 1. How can I equals to I again? I still can't figure it out. Somehow I automated the task. My manager was happy. Even I was happy. My career progression, my personal life, everything is going good. In 2020, I got married. I am blessed with a baby boy on 1st of Jan 2023. And then I got a call from my dream company, Autodesk. They asked me to join to a role called technical sales. I'm a person who is very shy, introvert. I can't build communications. I can't build conversations. How can I take this role sales? That's when I took as a challenge. This is the second time I break my cocoon. I took the role. In my second presentation, they asked me to present it to a CXO level. I messed up the entire presentation. The deal was completely gone. But my manager, who was kind enough, he came to me said, "Why can't you have a look at Toastmasters?" That's when I decided to find about Toastmasters, and I found Bright Hearts on on Instagram. Sorry. My thought of joining Bright Hearts is not only to build my professional skills like public speaking or leadership. The reason I joined Bright Hearts, my goal is I don't want my son to be an introvert like me. I wanted my son to gleam in front of everyone, and I wanted him to be confident, and I wanted him to be a good public speaker. That's the reason I'm here in Bright Hearts, and I strongly believe that Bright Hearts is the place where I can develop my public speaking skills and leadership skills. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Gautam. That was really wonderful speech. Okay, we are all done with our marathon. Now let's vote. Take out your phones. bit.ly/BHTM vote 1. I'll repeat it once again. bit.ly/BHTM vote 1. So people who have joined online, you will be able to access the link for voting in the chat. And when we will finish this? 5:30 we out.
Be patient and be positive.
Yeah. What is the count now? Fine.
good so far. Looking forward to a few more. Seconds more. Please finish your voting.
Thank you so much for voting. Now we'll break, and our break is for 10 minutes. We'll be back by 5:31.
She's memories that shape her and the magic that she believes in. And you had app content to support that. So kudos on that. Some of the places of improvement would be pace yourself a little, speak more loudly so that we can hear you clearly. And one challenge for you would be to not use paper so that we can connect more with you when you make eye contact with us. That's all. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Prabh Simran. Now to evaluate Toastmaster Deepak's speech, we have Toastmaster Aryan.
This way, right?
Yeah.
You want me to put it up? Yeah. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. And a special good evening to my target speaker, Toastmaster Deepak. Toastmaster Deepak, you helped me realize it does not matter at what stage of life you are, but you would eventually end up remembering your college days. And if somebody has bullied you or has ragged you, that will always be a part of your life. I related to your speech a lot as I was also born in Bihar, very near to Patna. Even my family, if whoever is from Bihar, it's very common to either go for IITs or for medical. So even I was at the same stage where my parents, my relatives forced me to study hard, and it was them who made me choose my career path. Which is one of the highlights of your speech, that your speech was very relatable. We all could relate to it, starting with when you talked about the fighting with your brother. We all have some memories around it. Or let's say when you chose your career path, and then the placement season, where how people are trying to figure out different ways to get placed, and then the joy when you crack that job somehow. And moving on, even the part where let's say we all get very fixated in our life, and when we stuck in our life, in our career, and then we decide what all steps that we have to take in our path. So that is one highlight, that your speech was very relatable to everyone. Moving on to the second point, I think there was a proper structure in your speech where you moved from where you were born, how you did at your college, and then how you faced issues, let's say moving on in your career, and then you took a step to it. Third highlight of your speech, which I loved the most, the way you started. You described the scene. I was able to picture that scene where bicycles were moving, children were playing marbles. The way you described the different festivals. So I was able to hear a music in my ear, and I was able to see the side characters in that area. Now moving. Also, one more thing to highlight, while this was your first speech, you used the word of the day twice. Great, kudos on that. A little suggestions from my side, which can probably help in getting your speech better. First being, while you describe the scene in a very descriptive way in your first part of the speech, but later on you just surface through different parts of your life. You could have stopped at one point and described that things in detail. So congratulations on taking the first step and delivering your icebreaker. And to summarize, you followed a great structure. There was relatable content. The way you painted the picture of the first scene, just focusing on small nitbit can take you to the next level. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Aryan. Before moving on to the next speech evaluator, I have two requests. Rahul, is it possible to put on the lights? Yes. I think the daytime is getting shorter and shorter, so you might need to put on the lights during the break. And second request, please keep your energies up. I noticed the applause is getting lower and lower. So for the next speech evaluator, when I call them on stage, I need the applause to be the loudest. Is that fair expectation? To evaluate Toastmaster Sampreet's speech, please put your hands together for Toastmaster Ryan.
Good evening, Toastmasters, and a special good evening to my target speaker, Toastmaster Sampreet. Today, I had the pleasure of listening to Toastmaster Sampreet deliver his very first speech. And for a debut speech, Toastmaster Sampreet, you showed great potential. I'm going to start off by talking about a few highlights, and then I'll move over to a few areas of improvements. One of the first things I particularly liked about your speech was when you came on stage, you started off with a question. Getting even a small amount of audience engagement, especially for your first speech, was quite impressive. And it helped draw us in right from the start. You also effectively used your hands in a way that was not distracting. And I felt that positively added to the delivery of your speech. I loved how you used examples in your overall speech. You said that you were an introvert and backed that up with examples saying that you avoided parent-teacher meetings, you avoided certain sports events. You also said that you had anxiety speaking in front of public and backed that up with examples as well, where you said that you attended a social event in front of 150 people and you felt a bit anxious speaking in front of them. Substantiating these statements add a lot of credibility to them and they make these statements a lot more believable. So great job there. Next, it was also commendable that despite this being your first speech, you did not actually look down to the ground, which is something a lot of new speakers tend to do. So great job over there. Finally, you ended your speech with a quote and you beautifully tied that quote to the title of your speech, My Metamorphosis. That was something I really liked. That was great writing. Now moving over to a few areas of improvements. When you came on stage, the first thing you said was hi. You then asked a question, and then you said good evening. You basically greeted the audience twice, which I felt was unnecessary. Instead, you could have just greeted the audience once and then gone about the entire speech. I also felt that the structure of your speech could have been a bit stronger. You spoke about being an introvert, you spoke about your fitness journey, and you also spoke about the communication issues. Improving the transitioning between these different segments would have made the overall speech a bit more cohesive. Lastly, I felt that you could benefit from adding pauses to your speech. You came on stage, delivered your speech. However, had you added certain pauses in certain areas of your speech, you would have given us, the audience, time to digest whatever you were saying. To conclude, Toastmaster Sampreet, I really liked your speech with a few tweaks, particularly in structure, pauses, and pacing. I'm confident that the next time you come on stage, you'll be a confident and a not so anxious speaker, something you mentioned earlier. Thank you. I'd like to hand the stage back to Toastmaster Rihab.
Thank you so much, Ryan. Now to evaluate Toastmaster Wasim's speech, we have DTM Subhash.
Wasim, okay, hi. All right. Wasim, Wasim did a fantastic speech today, and let me talk about the second part of it, because he started off with a rhetorical question and had a fixed, beautiful structure with a main and a sub point, and concluded with a beautiful message. I think in terms of speech organization, you did a fantastic job. But in the speech, I think one point is where you were talking about a Pondicherry, and that connection, I lost that point where, and that did not really connect me well. But coming back to the speech, you had great vivid words, and you also had certain humor where you were talking about you not allowing your siblings to do the same education, or the same degree that you did. That was a little funny. And the special moment when you came back home and when you hugged your father, and I also like this place where you were identifying a few Bright Heart members in the end. See, these are certain highlights that I loved in your speech. But talking about an icebreaker, where in the content of an icebreaker, I like the fact when you described your joint family, the single room where you all stayed in joint family. Those images really took back to my childhood, and I really enjoyed certain instances. You also went through your education, talking about maths, and you had you also shared great memories with your cousins. The moment you spoke about graphic designing and working in Infosys, that really connected me, because I'm also a graphic designer too. And I like the way the journey of you going through Infosys and working there, and there was a slight humor in those 2 points. And you became a designer, and you also shared your journey at Infosys. Now, there are certain things that I could challenge you, is when you are trying to deliver certain sentences, you tend to start your sentences with a word called so. So probably try to take a pause and see how you can connect the previous sentence to the next sentence. In the future, you will be challenged by using better body language, and I wish you all the very best. And I wish I could hear your goals, professional goals, and your hobbies. But I loved your voice and your speech organization. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Subhash. And now to evaluate Toastmaster Pragati's speech, we have Toastmaster Manish.
Is your life work in Pragati? Well, Toastmaster Pragati is definitely a work in progress, and she showed that through her speech. Today, Toastmaster Pragati, you were like a gleaming emerald, ready to shine bright. Toastmaster Pragati showed us how to not take failure seriously and face your fears. And doing so will open your mind to new adventures and experiences that you would have never encountered till now. Toastmaster, coming to the highlights of the speech, Toastmaster Pragati, I really like the structure of your speech. You had a chronological order and you moved to the speech in such a way. For example, at the intro, you told us the tale of how you got your name. Your parents were progressing and they decided to name you Pragati, which was very interesting and captivating. Then after that, you moved through the body where you talked about your school life and you gave us a clear message that sometimes failures should not be taken personally. And then in the conclusion, you told us about your journey in Australia. Since understanding the structure of a speech is a main objective in Icebreaker, you have clearly ticked the box. Now, moving on, the second part was your humor. You added chunks of humor here and there that not only amplified your speech, but made it more intriguing and captivating. For example, during your life in Australia, you told us about the cultural shock you faced. While I was walking on the street, I saw people saying, "Hello, how are you? Did you have a nice day?" And then things that came to your mind. Why were they being so nice to me? Did they want something from me? These elements of humor was very captivating, and I truly enjoyed it. Now, the third point, one thing you did really well was when you were talking about the incidents in your life, you made sure to tell us the lesson and the value you got from it. Now, when about the school incident, you left us with a lesson that don't take your failures seriously and personally. About your Australian journey, you told us, I walked into the bar for the first time and I saw that there are always people to help me. Some speakers do not give them lesson or the value that they get from their incident, but you decided to do that, and I commend you on that. One recommendation I have for you is your non-verbal cues, and especially your hand gestures. Now, when you were talking about your humor, instead of just saying how are you, instead of just saying, when you were using your hand gestures, overall you had great humor and good structure to your speech. If you just improve on your non-verbal cues, such as your hand gestures, and use hand gestures, especially in the humor part of a speech, you won't just be a work in progress, but work successfully done. Thank you.
Mike. Thank you so much, Manish. And with that, we have the final speech evaluation, that is evaluating Toastmaster Gautam. We have Toastmaster Muzammil.
Good evening, everyone. Gautam, special good evening to you. Congratulations on not just breaking cocoon, but also for breaking the ice. Starting with highlights, your story structure. You took good opportunity of this to introduce yourself to the club that you were born in the year 1992 in Anakapalli. Your mom got married at the age 16 to the coolest person, and that is your dad. Second highlight, continuing this highlight, you did not like school because you felt like jail sleeping under the bench. Principal did not like you. You even drank cocoon and jumped off the wall just because you don't like the school. You got into VIT for your engineering. You started your job in Gujarat, but you did not like working there because you wanted to stay with your parents. Very well done introducing yourself there. Later, you got into sales job and you break your second cocoon. Now here, we all know your journey, what you have been through, and where you come from. Second highlight is your confidence, and you had little humor in there. You were confident on stage. I did not feel like this is your first speech. You started your speech with a question. How many of you here like to drink tea or coffee with jaggery? I was expecting you to tell sugar, but you told jaggery. That one. And that question is also a very nice way of introducing your place of birth to us, as that is largest place of jaggery production. And then second little humorous thing what you had when you told, I checked all the questions to option C, thinking that it would get me good marks, and then that actually got you 40 marks, and that 40 marks got you into engineering. Very good humorous point. And then now, and also it is good to know that you are here not just for you, but also because of your son, because you don't want your son to make the mistakes and go through the things what you have been through very, very well. And then concluding your speech, you had good story structure and good confidence. And I wish all the very best for your future speeches. And since this is your very first speech in Toastmasters and this is an icebreaker speech, I do not have any points of improvement for you. I wish all the very best for your future speeches. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Muzammil. Now we will move on to the auxiliary reports. First, we will not move ahead with the timers, even though Pranjal is getting ready to share her report. Since you can analyze the other role takers as well, so I will call you last. So we will start with the listener first. Okay, so please put your hands together for the listener for today, Toastmaster Siddharth.
This part of the meeting, I personally like to call KBL, Kaun Banega Listener. Okay, it's similar to KBC. I have 7 questions, and there are some ground rules. First, you have to raise your hand to answer the question. Second is, everybody keep a self score. Like anyone who answers all the 7 questions right is the winner of the KBL. Okay, so I'll start with the first question. Okay. All right. So this came from Rahul. He mentioned during his speech how many countries Toastmaster is in. Okay, Rahul can't answer. Gautam?
148.
Yeah, that's correct. Moving to the next question. First tip by Vishnu for having confidence. It's a quote. Yeah.
Resilience is the tip.
Yeah. But there's something else to it. For Rahul, can you give it back?
Fortune favors the bold and resilient.
Yeah, that's correct. Yes. Moving to the third question. How far is Deepak's town from Patna? Okay, Ishan.
200 kilometers.
That's correct. I hope everyone is keeping a self score, not one answer for each person. Okay. Moving to the next question. It's again about distance. How many kilometers Samprit ran today? Okay. Arna?
16.
That's correct. Which country Pragati moved to? Deepak? Yeah, that's correct.
India.
Okay. We'll quickly cover 2 more questions. Which town Gautam is from? Yeah, that's correct. So last question, I think this is someone guest could answer. What is General Evaluators team called? Yeah, so guest can answer.
Auxiliary team?
No. Okay,
Yes.
it could be, it's a short form.
Tag team?
Yeah, that's correct. All right, anybody answered all the 7 questions right?
No.
Okay, good. All right, thank you. With that, I'll hand it over to G.
Round of applause. Thank you so much, Siddharth, for that entertaining round of questions. Now, to take you through the grammarian's report, please put your hands together for the grammarian, Toastmaster Ishan.
Thank you. Thank you to all the speakers today. we have used the word of the day for a total of 12 times.
Wow.
So I want everyone to give a huge round of applause. I think this is the most we have used the word of the day. So thanks, everyone. I'll name few sentences and words that stood out. First one was from Arundhati, which was confidence sprinkled like salt. That was good use of it. Vishnu used a lot of interesting words which related to confidence, like assertive, resolute, tenacious. There was also fortune favors the bold and resilient, which you said, which was from Vishnu. And there was, he is not a product of his circumstances, but his decisions. That stood out. Apart from that, Arna used castles on the cloud and K Sera Sera, whatever will be, will be. That was interesting. Sampreet's title was really good, My Metamorphosis. Pragati used absurd and muster up the courage. Aryan used fixated. Ryan used substantiating and cohesive. Subhash used rhetorical, vivid. Manish used a bunch of interesting words, chronological, captivating, intriguing, comment. Yes, that's about it. Great use of a bunch of words, and thank you for using the word of the day a lot.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ishan. And now to take you through the R Counters report, please put your hands together for Toastmaster Ruchi.
Greetings, everyone.
Greetings.
I gleamed with joy listening so many icebreaker speeches today. I just wanted to use the word of the day. So to begin with my report, I'll start with SAA Raffle. You did a very good job, but you used just and you know once. President of the day, Arundhati, you proved why you are distinct Toastmaster. You were completely flawless. TMOD, Vishnu. Yes, sorry. Again, you did a very good job, but there was a couple of crutch sounds, filler words that you used, and crutch words like and literally were used. General evaluator, Ahab, again, you did a very good job. A couple of filler words and so was used. Arna. Arna, I have a small feedback for you. You started your speech with a so. So maybe next time avoid starting it with crutch words, and other than that you used a couple of filler words. Deepak, again a couple of filler words and crutch words like like, which can be avoided. Sampreet, again you did a very good job. You use so basically crutch word couple of times and some filler words like Wasim. Some couple of filler words, some crutch words like like so. Speaker 5, Pragati. Again, a lot of so was used in your speech and a couple of filler words, but overall a good job. Gautam, very good job. You did not use much filler words. It was almost flawless. Prab Simran, again nitpicking, you used once. Aryan, again a very good job. Couple of filler words. Rian, kudos, flawless. Subhash, you used couple of filler words and there was long pauses in between. Manish, you quoted Pragati twice. Don't take your failures personally at different instances. Just avoid. Keep in mind that next time. Muzammil, flawless. Kudos to that. That's all my report for today. Thank you.
Mike. Thank you so much, Ruchi. And please pass the mic to the timer so that when I call the timer, she'll be ready. So, audience, please put your hands together for the timer for the day. Toastmaster Pranjal.
Good evening, everyone. So the moment you have all been waiting for is here. Drum rolls, it's time for the timer's report. Now, let me tell you, this is the time where we'll find out who nailed it, who cut it close, and who decided to throw time out of the window like some kind of outdated fashion trend. Remember, timing is crucial. And going by the agenda, we did really well in our first half. We started our speech segment right on time, that was 4:25, and began the meeting exact at 4 o'clock. Now, we did missed out on getting the break started right on time. We were a little bit late there. The break got postponed by 12 minutes. Instead of 5:10, it started at 5:22 till 5:31, which again shows that we as Toastmasters knows how to keep on track despite the fact that some unexpected roadblock is what we encountered, because the evaluation segment was scheduled at 5:30 and it got delayed by only 3 minutes, 5:33. So we managed to time our life down to the second, and maybe we left some scope for the deserts. Now, coming on to the timer's report, I want to say that neither of you, almost neither of you, are left to hang or look for the windows or exits, because bravo, almost all of you have earned the confidence badges today. Now, to go in the details, the Sergeant at Arms Raffle took time of 3 minutes 5 seconds. President Arundhati took time of 5 minutes 30 seconds. TMOD for the first half took 18 minutes 51 seconds. General evaluation complete segment was for 8 minutes 2 seconds. The individual evaluations timer took 1 minute. Our counter took 2 minutes 4 seconds. Grammarian took 1 minute. Listener took 24 seconds. Coming on to the second half, the speaker one, Arna, took 4 minutes 52 seconds, well within the time. Speaker two, Deepak, took 6 minutes 48 seconds. Speaker three, Samprit, took 5 minutes 54 seconds. Speaker four, Wasim, took 5 minutes 52 seconds. Pragati took 6 minutes 26 seconds. Gautam took 5 minutes 38 seconds. Coming on to the evaluators, Simran took 3 minutes 14 seconds. Aryan took 3 minutes 25 seconds. Rayan took 3 minutes 2 seconds. Subhash took 3 minutes 25 seconds. Manish took 3 minutes 35 seconds. Mohammed took 2 minutes 34 seconds. Ahab, you took 1 minute 40 seconds to introduce the evaluators and almost 1 minute to introduce the Taggle team. Vishnu, for the second half, you only took 2 minutes 55 seconds. So all of us was right on time. This was my report. Thank you so much and hope to do better next time.
Thank you so much, the tag team, for helping with the report. Now it is time for the general evaluation report, where I will be evaluating the entire proceedings of the meeting. I will start with the essay in the order of how the meeting went. So essay Raffle, I like the nice clap game that you had. I think you could have even extended that clap game for 1 or 2 more times and then ended up in a round of claps so that it would have been a nice start to the meeting. But nice game. I liked your body language as well. It's very commanding. You stand upright and you command the audience. And also when you speak about different aspects, that where is the water from, or using the mic, you're very expressive with your hands. So that's a very nice skill to have. Good job there. As a point of feedback, I would suggest you to, when you're starting the meeting, say something like, before we begin, let us start with a game. So that will set up the entire scenario of why you are playing that game. So it'll feel like, okay, now we play the game and then we will move on to the meeting. So that can be added. Next, presiding officer Arundhati, you were loud and clear. Your presiding officer address was crisp and concise. I like how you forgot the opening of the meeting, but you seamlessly integrated after you called Vishnu and you said, while Vishnu gets up his technical things in place, let's open the meeting. So that was very cleverly worked in. I found that very clever. But the best part about you as the presiding officer is that I love how expressive you are as an audience. So what happens is, anybody who comes here on stage, when they see you being so expressive and like, yeah, That is very encouraging. And I really loved the way you were responsive to that as well. One point of feedback is for you to maybe announce and be in control of the difficult parts. For example, when the online meeting was the online speaker was coming up, you could have announced that the next speaker is online, so we will take a couple of minutes to set it up. This is a point of feedback for the TMOD as well, because you could have also taken this up as a responsibility. Moving on to TMOD, Vishnu. Very, very powerful use of voice. It's not just that you have a great voice. I know there's a fan following that you have said, Arundhati, but the way you use it very powerfully, it's amazing to hear. Another highlight is that I loved how you summarized every speaker's speech in one short line. Some of the summaries where I really loved them, like for example, Arna's and I think Sampreet's, but others ones were slightly not that great. Keep working on that. I think that is a great strength to have, and that is something that you are definitely improving. One or two highlights, points of improvement for you is you have that tendency of crutch of walking forward and backwards. So that is something you can slowly but steadily reduce from your script. Stand straight. Only when you have to engage the audience, you can move around. And another one is you mentioned about Stephen Covey. There was one segment after the second or third speech you mentioned about Stephen Covey. There were a lot of double negatives in that sentence, so it was a little difficult to follow you. I don't remember the exact sentence, but then because there were a few double negatives, the question you asked was not very clear, which is why I assume that the response from the audience was little lacking. So make it a simpler question so that it's easier for engagement. But overall, great job done. Extremely enjoyable meeting. Don't you all agree it was an enjoyable meeting? Can we have a round of applause for... Moving on to the timer, Pranjal. I loved your intro, specifically how you used self-deprecating humor of imagine a parrot telling a crow to be not talk too much. So that was really well done. It broke the ice a little bit. I also found it hilarious that you mentioned in your beginning of the report that this is the moment we are all waiting for. Nobody waits for the timer report. I personally found it hilarious, but good job on making it very engaging to listen to. I also loved the fact that when you were running out of time, you went into a complete roller coaster mode of telling all the timers and you completed the report. I think on time as well, right? So good job there. One feedback I have for you is your intro was slightly on the longer side. Maybe you could cut down to 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes. Ruchi, you spoke about the R counter report. You asked the audience, what is C? What is R? What is P? What is F? So that created an engagement, broke the monotony. Good job there. I love how detailed your feedback was as well. And one nitpick is that for Gautam, you mentioned almost flawless. What is almost flawless? One or two, if there is one or two, you could have said 1 or 2 R counts. So that could be something that you correct. Ishan, I loved the word of the day. Initially, when I heard the word of the day, I thought, who will use it? But then thinking of it from a point of view of, with hindsight, that it has been used 12 plus 1, 13 times today. Great job on the word of the day. It's very difficult to sometimes find a difficult yet usable word. So good job there. Ishan, I think you have a good clarity of voice as well, which you don't use. Vishnu uses it very well. You have great clarity. I would like you to challenge yourself by being louder so that even Prabh and Ryan, who's sitting at the far corner behind, they are able to hear you properly. So that is a challenge for you. Listener Siddharth, loved the humor of KBC and KBL. Good crisp questions. All the answers were crisp and quick. So good job there. Another the point of feedback is consider time and maybe ask the questions faster so that you get the answer faster as well. Moving on to the evaluators. First, we have Prabh. I agree with all of your points. One point of feedback for you would be, Prabh, yes, you're there. You mentioned about different points. Make your examples crystal clear as to where the speaker demonstrated that. For example, chronology. You mentioned about chronology of her speech, right? So you can say first this, second this, third this. This is what you did well, and that is why I like the chronology. So it becomes very, very clear as to what the speaker did well. Otherwise, great job. Aryan, you spoke about the relatability, order of speech, intro. Just one minor nitpick for you is that I would love to hear a more crisper conclusion wording. I know that you had a conclusion, but then the wording could have been improved. And conclusion is something that you can practice. Take 2-3 dummy points and then practice the wording so that it becomes better and better. For Ryan, I agree with most of your points again. I like how you gave examples. One point of feedback for you is the order of highlights. Start with the highlight which is absolutely first, and then start with the next ones. I think the first one you started with is the question that the speaker asked. I would disagree that that was the biggest highlight for the speech. So start with the highlight which is the best one. So that'll make a huge difference. Subhash, you talked about speech organization. You talked about his mentioning the Bright Hearts members. For you, I would suggest to get your order of feedback. That is, stick to the highlights first, then commendations or the recommendations next. It was a little bit all over the place for you. So I would suggest to stick to that highlights first and then recommendations. Moving to Manish. Manish, I've told you this before, but today also I loved how passionate you are with the evaluation. And that makes me feel like, okay, I need to listen to this guy, even if it has nothing to do with me, I need to listen to him. So keep that up. You started with, as a point of improvement, you started with Pragati. You are a work in progress, which can be taken as a dig as well. So that might be something that you need to think about when you start. You also acknowledged, okay, so a point of feedback for you and for everyone, when you forget something that you have to say, or when you are finding notes, is that acknowledge. Everyone goes through it. When you acknowledge something like that, you have a chance to turn it into humor. So, oh my God, where have I written the points? I can't understand my own handwriting. Say things like this, the audience will laugh at you. Great. And Muzammil, I love how crisp, clear, and well articulated your points are. This is the first time I'm hearing your evaluation, I think. And Akshay had told me once that you have great evaluation skills. Today I see why. The point of improvement for you would be to call out your points as point number 1, point number 2, point number 3. So it becomes very clear as to you are moving on to the next point. You use words like also, and, all that. So use point number 1, 2, 3. That will clear out your feedback. How much time do I have left?
30 seconds.
30 seconds. I have points of improvement for highlights for all the speakers as well. Since they were covered already by the evaluators, I will let we will discuss after the meeting as well. But overall, I found the meeting to be very enjoyable, well conducted, well organized, right from the SAA to the PO to everyone. Great job to the team as well. How did you all like the meeting again? That sounds like a very, very sad awesome. Gleaming, that's the word I was looking for. Thank you, everyone. Now you may take your phones out and vote for the best role takers for today. Please also feel free to leave out detailed suggestions and feedback. It will really help the role takers. Can you announce?
bit.ly/bhtm vote 2. So the vote 1 becomes vote 2. For members, of course, the link is in the group. You can look out for vote 2. कहाँ गया? अरे वोट 2 ही नहीं दिख रहा. ग्रुप पे डाल दो यार ग्रुप अरे मिल गया But 11 responses so far. Looking forward to a few more. नहीं ना anonymous है
Please keep voting. Meanwhile, let me please hand over the stage back to the presiding officer for today. Please put your hands together for Bright Heart, Queen of Bright Hearts, Toastmaster Arundhati.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Ehab. That was Ehab with a roller coaster evaluation. Loved it, Ehab. Thank you very much. Bright Hearts, Toastmasters, and guests, how was the meeting? Oh, that sounded like present, ma'am, in school. Right, so I'm going to quickly try to catch up on some guest feedback while our team on is double hatting to get results sorted. So shall I ask, you want to, yes, go ahead, Subhash, please. Word of the day. Word of the day.
The other way? Sorry. Yeah, I know next week is a big day, and I wish the club all the very best. Today I enjoyed the quality of the marathon, and I wish all the members of Bright Hearts a wonderful Toastmasters journey. Welcome to an worldwide organization where we are here to mutually evaluate ourselves. It's a place where you can make mistakes on stage, off stage, but learn, evaluate mutually, and grow together as leaders and professional speakers. Wishing all of you all the very best. All the best.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Subhash. I think that was very nice to hear from you. Shall I ask what? Yes, Harshil, if you want to tell us how you felt about the meeting.
Yeah. So it was great joining you guys. I was 10 minutes late, so I missed Sergeant at Arms. And as far as I know, it's very tough to run a Toastmasters club. It is similar to run like you are running your own company. So the founder and then the whole board of members, then the evaluators, they play the role of the executive committee, and especially the tag team. One more thing which I want to highlight, it's very frequent other than the usual roles. You introduce listener of the day. So I just want everyone to do a round of applause. And thanks for giving the time. The main thing is I'm very happy to see a lot of faces, because in my Toastmaster days, it was very tough for me to getting people onboarded and then, making the herd effect. So Bright Heart, I'm your end user of the marketing strategy being done in HSR Club. And I brought one more person with me. So it's working well. So that was my feedback. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Harshil, for sharing that. Can't agree more, but very happy how you equated all the roles. But more importantly, I think the strategy working. So our PR, Arna, and of course, our president in absentia, Akshay, will be thoroughly delighted at that. So well done, Bright Hearts. We are a little over time, but I think today worthy of it because we had 6 excellent speeches. So the results are ready. Thank you, Vishnu. We'll move on to the results and we have 2 quick announcements after that. So starting up with the best auxiliary role player for today. So we had Pranjal as timer, great job. Ruchi as our counter, totally nailed it. I'm going to give it to you, Ishan, gleaming meeting. And then we had Siddharth as listener. The winner today is Bright Heart Pranjal. Yay! So whenever Pranjal comes on stage, she slays it. Be it the parrot or the crow, the winner is always you. But I loved how, absolutely echoing the G, Pranjal, you take on all the roles, you come in with so much spirit. She was like a teacher telling, watch out for your time. Loved how you did it. Very well done. Many congratulations. There you go. Let her take a picture. Congratulations, Pranjal. Next up, as the best evaluator, it's again from HSR. That's because most of our evaluators usually are, but today we had Prab as well. So Prab, Ryan, Manish, Aryan, and Subhash, and Muzammil. Where is he? Yes, all of you, thank you very much. Great evaluation. The winner today is Ryan Rodrigues. Ryan, the first question to ask you is, did I get your surname right? Is it Rodrigues? So Akshay told me apparently nobody gets his surname right. So I'm going to send him a message right after this. But Ryan, I saw you practice. Your evaluation shows how passionate you are, how much you really put into bringing out the best evaluation, reflective in your evaluation. Very well done. Thank you for taking out time. Many congratulations. Take picture for our PR. Yeah. Okay, then we move on to the best role player. So we had our TMOD in Toastmaster Vishnu. I'm going to hope all of y'all are a little more confident. And our GE in Toastmaster Ehab, who I think was brilliant and so amazing. It was a tough call, but our winner this evening is Bright Hearts Vishnu Pradeep. Yay! Now, a very confident TMOD. So Vishnu, of course, has a fan base of his voice, like we all know. But I must just say that the sincerity that this man demonstrates, came up with this whole idea of getting bright hearts through his TMOD address on his own, brilliantly found all the abbreviations and put in so much effort in getting his script in order. Very well done, Vishnu. Many congratulations. Very finally, today is the first time at Bright Hearts that we had 6 speeches, 6 icebreakers, 6 stories unfolded, and I loved all of them. They were so unique. So starting up with Arna, we had Arna and then Deepak and then Sampreet, Pragati, Wasim, Gautam. Loved your stories. Great preparation. The winner this evening is Bright Heart Wasim Fasil. Wasim, I know we had this discussion. So Wasim was like, can I do it next week? And I was like, no. A very signature no of Bright Hearts. But I did tell him this is our final week. Please do your icebreaker. And he came back and said that he did this icebreaker long back. He's going to modify all of it and bring a new icebreaker. Wasim, this just shows how far you've come as an individual, as your personality in your words, and as a Toastmaster. Many congratulations. Yes, so now everybody please click picture. Take it in whatever portrait. No scoldings from Akshay, will be entertained. Oh, left. Oh my God, there. Mini Akshay in the making. Thank you very much. Many congratulations to the winner. So like I said, we have 2 quick announcements. The first one is my favorite because let me ask once more. So Bright Hearts, the right way is the right way. And the bright way has finally arrived. We are officially chartered with Toastmasters and have our club number. Our chartering process is complete. We've got a club number. And very importantly, all our members have graduated from being called Bright Hearts to now officially being called Toastmasters. So well done. You can all use Toastmaster in front of your name, but remember in your heart, once a bright heart is always a bright heart. So that'll always stay, but very, very delighted. Apologies, we had some delays, but I'm glad it all came around. We are also very, very proud to tell that we are the first newly chartered club of District 121 for this program here. I would like to take this opportunity to thank HSR Toastmasters' significant support throughout our journey, and of course our club sponsors Ehab and Chandrima and Absentia. On behalf of Akshay and I, we are very, very happy, thankful to all our charter members and all the new and prospective members for all your trust. We are set, we have started, and just like we are the first club, with no offense to HSR, we are going to be the best club in town. We'll have it offline. No, but thank you very much. The second quick announcement, given we are now officially chartered, we will have our meeting number 1, official meeting number 1 next Sunday, 29th September. The venue is not Urban Vault, but Hustle Hub, which is also in HSR. You will find all the details coming your way on guest groups, on member groups, and prospective members group. Everybody's attendance is mandatory. So Bright Hearts, you have no options. HSR, you have no option. So all those people from Bright Heart and HSR absolutely have to be there. All guests, you have our personal invite. Please do join us for our meeting number 1 on 29th September. And very finally, the final announcement, we will have our club table topic and evaluation contest on 13th October. Sunday, 13th October, please adjust your plans. On that note, thank you very much for today's evening. Apologies for the delay, but I'm going to hope it was worth it. And on that note, I hereby close our last pre-charter meeting number 12. Okay, before we break up and take the picture, I must just say, really missing Akshay today. He ought to be here, given we are graduating from pre-charter to the our official meeting. So all Bright Hearts, can you be very loudly, because he can see us, say thank you, Akshay, at 1, 2, 3, right? 1, 2, 3. Thank you, Akshay. I'm going to hope he sees the recording and plot. Now let's take a picture. Vishnu, you can stop it. One more mic. Oh. Stop the recording. Press here. Stop. Stop. Click करो.